Oscar Wilde was an Irish playwright, novelist, poet, and critic who is regarded as one of the greatest playwrights of the Victorian era. Oscar Wilde was born in Ireland on October 16, 1854, to Sir William Wilde, who was one of the most famous Ireland surgeons, and Jane Wilde, who was a successful poet and journalist. He was the second of 3 children in the family and lost a sibling at the early age of 10. In 1874, Oscar Wilde received a scholarship with which he could enter the Magdalen College in Oxford, an institution from which he would obtain the title of Bachelor of Arts in 1878 with honors. He also won the Oxford Newdigate Prize for his poem Ravenna. On May 29, 1884, Oscar Wilde married Constance Lloyd, who was the daughter of a wealthy Queen's Counsel, Horace Lloyd. They gave birth to 2 sons, Cyril and Vivian, and to support his family, Oscar accepted a job as the editor of Woman's World magazine, where he worked from 1887 to 1889. In 1888, while he was still working as an editor, Wilde entered a 7-year period of furious creativity, during which he produced nearly all of his great literary work like The Happy Prince and Other Tales, Salome, The Importance of Being Earnest, Lady Windermere's Fan, and his only and first novel, The Picture of Dorian Gray. The novel is a cautionary tale about a beautiful young man, Dorian Gray, who wishes that his portrait ages while he remains youthful and lives a life of sin and pleasure. Though the novel is now regarded as one of the greatest classic novels of all time, at the time critics were outraged by the book's apparent lack of morality. Also during this time, he met someone who forever changed his life and who had the beauty of Dorian Gray, Lord Alfred Bruce Douglas, or Bosie. Wilde's relationship with Bosie put him in dangerous territory, since all homosexual acts were illegal in England at that time. In April 1895, Oscar sued Bosie's father for libel as the Marquis of Queensberry had accused him of homosexuality. Oscar's case was unsuccessful, and he was sentenced to 2 years of hard labor for the crime of sodomy. During his time in prison, he wrote De Profundis, a dramatic monologue and autobiography which was addressed to Bosie. After leaving prison in 1897, Wilde would meet with Lord Alfred Douglas and they began a life together around Naples. However, this lasted a few months as their family cut off their economic funds and forced them to separate. Oscar Wilde spent the rest of his life wandering Europe, staying with friends and living in cheap hotels. He died of cerebral meningitis on November 13, 1900, penniless and in a cheap Paris hotel. So let's continue this video with Oscar Wilde's greatest quotes, but first make sure to like the video and subscribe. This won't take too much time from you, but will give us a lot of energy to continue. Be yourself, everyone else is already taken. When I was young, I thought that money was the most important thing in life. Now that I am old, I know that it is. I have the simplest of tastes. I'm always satisfied with the best. Always forgive your enemies. Nothing annoys them so much. You don't love someone for their looks, or their clothes, or their fancy car, but because they sing a song only you can hear. To live is the rarest things in the world. Most people exist, that's all. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. Between man and woman, there is no friendship possible. There is a passion, enmity, worship, love, but no friendship. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. We are all in the gutter, but some of us are looking at the stars.